Hello viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I'll be talking about the do's and don'ts of the courtroom. I know many people don't like going to courts, but I'm here to tell you that you can't avoid the courts because the court is the only institution, is the only avenue through which you can seek legal redress to violation of your rights. Yes, your fundamental rights as contained in the Constitution, where your rights has been violated or is about to be violated. It is only through the courts that you can enforce your rights and also get damages where your right has been infringed upon. Also, probably you have entered into a contract, the contract has been breached. It is only through the court that you can seek the enforcement of that contract and also claim damages as an innocent party. Let's say you have a land, for instance, someone has encroached on your land. The proper thing for you to do is to go to the courts, right? It's not for you to use soldier, police, or talk to drive out the party that has encroached on your land, because in so doing you might be violating his fundamental rights, and that person can in turn sue you and claim damages from you. So you don't want a situation where someone has encroached on your land and that person is now suing you again to claim damages. Right? So maybe you're a music artist as well. Someone has maybe infringed on your intellectual property. It is only through the court that you can get damages. You can also be summoned to come to court to give evidence, subpoenaed to come to court to give evidence. If you don't go, you'll be in violation of court order, and that is contempt of the court, and that can land you in jail. So even when you don't have business in court and you are summoned to come to court, you must appear in court. Now that you know why you can't avoid the courtroom, it is also important that you know the rules of the courtroom so that you don't get into trouble when you find yourself in the courts. Number one thing you should know is that before you enter the court, it is important that you put your phone on silent, right? You activate the silent mode on your phone. Put your phone on silent. Then when you are entering the court, you might not know whether the court is sitting or not. So it is important that you open the door of the courtroom gently and quietly. You open the door gently and quietly, right? Then you walk in quietly. You don't drag your feet. And when you are going to the court, make sure you wear shoes that will not be making sound, right? And where you know that your shoe makes sound, just you tiptoe, because if the court is sitting and your shoe is making, it will disrupt the proceedings of the court, and the judge will not take it lightly with you. So to avoid getting into trouble, make sure that you don't wear a shoe that makes sound, or where you wear a shoe that makes sound, make sure you tiptoe. Let's assume that when you enter the court is already sitting, right? The court is already sitting. So the normal thing for you to do is, after you have walked in quietly and gently, you take a bow and you find a place to sit down. And when you are sitting in court, you don't sit as if you are in your parlor. You don't sit like this. You sit in a proper way, right? You sit down, and probably if you are in court to give evidence, or you are a party to a matter in court, your name will be called, right? Okay, before then, let's now assume that after you enter the court has not started sitting. The court has not started sitting. You enter the courtroom, then after some minutes, the judge enters the court, right? Before the judge enters, the registrar will announce that the court is about to sit. Then you are going to hear a bang on the door 3 times. Boo, boo, boo. After the 3rd time, the judge walks in. Once the judge is walking in, everybody in the courtroom must stand up. Know this. If you don't know this, it will get you into trouble. During my externship, this issue got someone into trouble that almost landed him in jail. Once you hear boo, boo, boo On the third time, you must stand up. Everybody in the court must stand up. You stand up, the judge walks in, the judge takes a bow, you also bow, the judge will bow to you, you also bow to the judge. Then you must not sit down before the judge. The judge will sit first. Once the judge has taken his seat, then you too, you can sit. Don't make the mistake of sitting before the judge. Right? Now, that is taken care of. So if you are in a court to give evidence, you are in court to give evidence, or you are a party to a matter in court, your name will be called. Right? Before I proceed, if you have gotten value so far, please do also subscribe to my YouTube channel for more educative content on law. Let's proceed. So if you are in court to give evidence, or you are a party to a matter in court, your name will be called. So once your name is called, if you are in the high court, you either say yes my lord or present my lord. High court judges are addressed as my lord or your worship. High court judges are addressed as my lord or your worship. At times they are addressed as sir, but there are some female judges that don't like you addressing them as sir. So it is important that you limit yourself to either addressing a high court judge as my lord or your lordship. Then if you find yourself in magistrate court, depending on the jurisdiction, magistrate court presiding officers are addressed as your worship. Your worship. Right? Now, another thing you must know is that if you are in court to give evidence, you must be very polite while addressing the judge, while giving your evidence. Vulgar languages, abusive languages are not allowed in the court. You don't use the F word, fuck off, fuck you, go to hell. You don't use those languages in court. And you don't insult someone. You don't call someone olori buruku. You don't call someone ashiwere. You don't call someone this useless man, this insolent. No, abusive languages are not allowed in the courtroom. Another thing that you must know is that you must put your emotions in check. The courtroom is not a place where you display anger. I know at times there are very contentious matters that you are emotionally attached to, and maybe one person is giving evidence, is lying in evidence, and you don't disrupt the person while he's talking. You allow the person to talk, right? Then you can now narrate your own side of the story. Don't disrupt anybody while the person is talking, right? These things are very, very important. And maybe you are still in court, maybe your matter come up last or something, you are in court. Once the judge say the court will rise, when judge say the court will rise, everybody must rise. Once the judge rises, everybody in the courtroom must rise. Don't make the mistake of sitting down while the judge has risen. Once the judge rises, everybody rises. Then the judge bow, and everybody in the courtroom also bow. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse, right? It is very, very important. Another thing that is important to mention is when you are in court, maybe you are a party to a matter in court, and the judge has made an order. Maybe for instance, divorce proceedings. The judge say, woman, allow your husband to see these children. Let him have access to the children. You will be in contempt of court by keeping the children away from their father. You understand? You'll be in contempt of court, and it is punishable with imprisonment term, right? Or maybe you have encroached on someone's land, you've dropped some properties on the land, and the judge say go and remove those properties. It is important that you remove those properties. If you don't remove them, you are going to be in contempt of court and you can be jailed. Another thing that is important to mention is that where you are giving evidence, make sure that what you are giving as evidence is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Because before you start giving your evidence, you will be sworn on oath. right? If you are a Christian, you'll be given a Bible. Then if you are a Muslim, you will be given a Holy Quran, and you swear, right, and said, all the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So where you lie on oath, that is perjury, and perjury is a criminal offense that is punishable with imprisonment term. So you don't want to find yourself in trouble by going to court to lie. So when you are in court, always ensure that you say the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and God will help you. Thank you for your time. If you have stayed till the very end and you have gotten value and you want more informative and educative content like this, please do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share this video with family and friends. It's going to help people, right? Bye.